2026. Several developments reported by Reuters point to a broader pattern. Not a crisis, not a single shock, but a moment where multiple global systems are quietly adjusting at the same time. Let's start with monetary credibility. On January 12th and into early January 13th, Reuters reported that global central banks were discussing a coordinated public stance in support of the Federal Reserve and its leadership, following political actions and investigations directed at the Fed. Importantly, this did not involve interest rate changes, balance sheet adjustments, or emergency liquidity programs. At first glance, this may seem abstract. After all, if no rates moved, why should markets care? Because modern monetary systems do not operate only on actions. They operate on expectations. Investors, companies, and governments make long-term decisions based on whether they believe monetary institutions can act independently and consistently over time. When that independence is questioned, even indirectly, markets begin adjusting behavior before policy ever changes. The cause here is not inflation data or employment figures. The cause is uncertainty around decision-making authority. Even if the Fed remains fully operational, the perception that future decisions could face political pressure is enough to alter risk assessments. The possible consequences tend to appear gradually. Long-term borrowing costs may rise slightly, not because rates are higher, but because lenders demand compensation for uncertainty. Currency markets may become more sensitive, and international investors may rebalance exposure, especially when the US dollar plays such a central role in global trade and reserves. At the same time, another adjustment was reported on January 13th by Reuters, this time affecting capital flows rather than monetary governance. Bloomberg Index Services delayed the inclusion of Indian government bonds into a major global bond index. This may sound technical, but the mechanism is straightforward. Large institutional investors often follow indices automatically. When a country's bonds are added, capital flows in by default. When inclusion is delayed, that capital simply does not arrive. The cause here is regulatory and procedural. The effect, however, is structural. Without those automatic inflows, governments rely more heavily on domestic buyers or selective foreign investors, often at higher interest rates. Over time, this changes funding costs and alters how portfolios are constructed globally. This does not isolate India. It subtly affects how investors think about emerging markets as a category. When integration into global benchmarks slows, capital tends to become